Well, blessed people, what a mighty, mighty time again at which to come to you. Very, very powerful time again. What an awesome time, blessed people, to come to you, at which to come to you. Blessed people, this past night the Lord has spoken with me. That is the reason I'm calling. The Lord Almighty has spoken with me. He took me to Israel, and I've seen the Israeli Air Force, the ones from the Navy. Those were now Navy aircrafts. The Israeli Navy, I saw them practicing. They are doing drills, serious drills. They are doing dogfight. They were doing dogfight in the air. The Israeli Navy aircrafts were doing dogfight in the air. They're preparing very, very aggressively. And then the Lord took me to Israel. So I spent most of this night in Israel, going around. And I also disconnected internet. I disconnected internet from a facility that they are targeting. I know I'm speaking in veiled form now. I disconnected the internet from the facility that they are targeting now, so that the people working at that facility are not able to function anymore. And they were practicing the dogfight in the air. 3 aircrafts, 3 of them. 3 very, very aggressive Navy fighter aircraft. So very soon there is going to be a war. And the God of Israel will defend Israel, because he has sent me to defend Israel. I disconnected power and internet from the facility they are targeting. It's going to be very mighty, very, very massive. There is a war that is coming to the earth. The Messiah is coming. Be ready, receive the Lord, believe the gospel, and make sure you are holy, righteous and holy. And keep your eyes up. Be in great anticipation of the coming of the King. The Messiah is coming. There's going to be a big war that's about to take place. Thank you. again, focusing on the prophecy that is fulfilled, the prophecy that I gave when the Lord sent his mega prophets to go and defend Israel. The recent prophecy, you see the fulfillment, how it's rolling out very, very seriously. It says here, Israeli F-35 fighter jets enter Iran airspace for secret drills. Again, for secret drills. Remember in that prophecy, I mentioned the drills. And the fighter jets come from the Navy. They are Navy aircraft. So they were leaving from the ship and going straight into serious drills. There's so much I've concealed that I've not said in that prophecy, which is concealed for confidentiality between the Lord and his prophets and Israel also. So you see, for the defense of Israel, again, the Lord takes his servants and all the way into Israel. The whole of that night I was in Israel. I was seeing how the Israeli jets, the Israeli fighter jets were coming from the Navy, the Israeli Navy, meaning they were coming from the ship and the warship. And they were involved in serious dogfight, a drill of dogfight. And after that, you see, because it's a prophecy I gave in part, veiled in part, the Lord takes me to Iran, and I switch off their internet. And then I told you I'm speaking in veiled form. I switch off their internet so they cannot communicate. And I see their computers went blank. Essentially, what I was speaking there, now I can open up a little bit, is I was able to switch off their radar system so they're not able to detect the Israeli fighter jets. So I was defending the Israeli fighter jets that they may not be seen in that prophecy. That is what I meant by speaking in veiled form. But you see now the developments moving very, very fast. That prophecy fulfilled. It says here, this is breaking news over here, you see. This is from India, the Hindustan Times. It says Israeli F-35S fighter jets enter Iran airspace for secret drills. Remember that prophecy I mentioned, drills. And the Lord uses his servants as the defenders of Israel. So it takes us into Iran, and we're able to switch off the Iranian air defense system, their radar, so they're not able to detect Israel. We do so in order to protect the Israeli jets, the Israeli fighter jets, the Strike Alpha aircraft that are sent there. And you see here, Times of Israel. The Times of Israel says, it says report, Israeli F-35S penetrate Iranian airspace repeatedly during war drills. So the war drills, the word was drill. Now you see drills, the word was drill. You see that word now in your news, every news item. This one is the Times of Israel says, Israeli F-35 stealth fighters penetrated Iranian airspace on multiple occasions in the last 2 months. A Saudi-run news outlet reported Wednesday as Israel stepped up its rhetoric against a nascent agreement to revive the 2015 nuclear deal between Tehran and the world powers. The unverified report in London-based Aleph, that is letter A in Hebrew. That's now a Hebrew paper. Unverified report in London-based Aleph said the jets successfully invaded Russian and Iranian radar during the exercise. That is what I meant when the Lord took me to switch off the internet. That's why I said I was speaking in veiled form, because I essentially switched off the Russian radar system that defend Iranians and Syrians, and I also switched off the Iranian radar system in order to hide the Israeli fighter jets so they can come into Iran without being detected. And that's why I said in that prophecy that I'm speaking in veiled form, the unverified report in London-based Aleph said the Israeli jets successfully evaded Russian and Iranian radars during the exercises, during the drills. Again, the word was drills, exercises. And you see it's being reported across the media, drills, exercises. Drones and mid-air refueling tankers were also reported to have participated in a massive drill. You see that now? That's the drill I was talking about. It says even drones and mid-air refueling tanker aircraft participated in that drill. And they were doing that in the Iranian airspace, because you see in that prophecy, the Lord sent the defenders of Israel, the protectors of Israel, to switch off the radar. So immediately we switched off the radar system, then we secured the Israeli fighter jets. Now the Israeli fighter jets could now go deep into the Iranian airspace undetected. The F-35 stealth fighters, this is the new generation F-35 fighters. And they have also been capacitated, because what happened is that when Israel purchased them from the U.S., Israel essentially modified them such that they can avoid mid-air refueling on this mission. Because this is an alpha strike mission that has to go at the speed of lightning, very fast, like thunderbolt. So there is no time for mid-air refueling. But anyhow, you see in these drills, they involved even the mid-air refueling tankers and the drones. Those are armed drones that are armed with nuclear weapons that will also strike targets. So this is drawing the war between Israel and Iran very close. And I know that Benny Gantz, the defense minister, is traveling to Washington this week. Probably they are going to brief the Pentagon before the launch of this war. And he says here, again, that drones and mid-air refueling tankers were also reported to have participated in the massive drills. Remember, the word in the prophecy was drills. So that's why every newspaper is talking about drills, 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 and drills. According to Aleph, Israel and the U.S. also carried out secret exercises over the Red Sea, simulating a strike. Okay, I know that Matthew is playing around with the speaker on the phone. He's touching things as I'm talking, very severe things right now. And that is normally Matthew. Indeed, everybody else does not do that. According to Aleph, Israel and the U.S. also carried out secret exercises over the Red Sea, simulating a strike on Iran from the Red Sea and air, and seizing the Iranian warships. So this is all within the massive drill. And remember, the prophecy I've been giving since the year 2005. There are two missiles that come out and strike the nuclear facilities of Iran, especially the one at the foot of the mountain. But this time, they will strike all of them. Natanz, there's one called, is it Gom, somewhere also. Even those that are underground will be struck down very severely. And I think they're going to strike them with nuclear weapons, because the explosion is unbelievable. It's a nuclear explosion. And so that is the times of Israel. And there is also another reportage here, which is Eurasia Times. It says the following. It says Israeli F-35 stealth fighter jets breached Iran's airspace, evading powerful Russian and Iranian radar. So you see the role of the prophets of Yahweh, the mega prophets of Yahweh, their role was to switch off the radar, that the Russian radar may not detect the Israeli stealth fighter, the Alpha strike aircraft, and the Iranian radar may also not detect the stealth suicidal Alpha fast force aircraft, the fast force, the ones that go advance and strike. And so you see, over the past 2 months, Israeli Air Force F-35 advanced 5th generation fighter jets reportedly penetrated Iranian airspace while successfully evading Russian and Iranian radars. The Saudi media outlet Aleph reported on Wednesday. He says that they went deep into space and were successful. They went undetected. Remember that prophecy I said they reported back successfully, back to base successfully. So again, the prophets who are the defenders of Israel have begun the other phase of their mission. The first phase is to prepare the Church of Christ for the coming of the Messiah. And the second and most important reason why they have come is to defend Israel and prepare God's people to now receive the Jewish Messiah, to receive the Messiah when he comes, to prepare God's people for the glorious kingdom of God. And so this second phase, you can see, is moving fast and furious. And so that can only tell you that the Messiah is coming. You need to prepare the time for the Gentile church to get into glory, into the kingdom of God, has drawn nigh. Those who have ears, may you listen to what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. Those who are wise, may you listen and get to hear what the Lord is saying. Thank you, Todaraba.